It's 600 pounds. Remember, like, subscribe, share, do all that shit. Follow the channel, share the channel, dislike the channel, leave a comment below. Who cares or gives a shit? But like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. This is my last max effort Monday before I go get surgery, so we had to go big. Chase came back in town. Cody's always in town. Went super big, had some fun.
Bro, how do you not like my own?
All right.
Garbage.
And we're live. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
What's up? How do you not like this? This is the best one.
It's not good. Especially you're drinking it warm right now. It's definitely.
Dude,
it tastes like
the best one warm is? The best one warm
Rainbow Unicorn.
I've never had that. I have one over there. The best one warm is the jalapeno rain. It's nasty, but you drink it warm, it like.
So it's like you said it's nasty, but it's better warm than it is cold.
You drink it warm,
Makes
it
no
like
sense.
tastes normal. It tastes like alcohol or something, like tequila. Like it tastes like it's supposed to be warm. You drink it
oh,
cold,
like it's
like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Like you're taking multiple tequila shots.
That's what it feels like good tequila.
No.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
Hard pass.
I have not had that one yet. I'll have to give it a try.
Just don't drink it cold. It's disgusting.
Don't drink it cold. Gotcha. I don't mind the Miami Cola. Miami Cola reminds me of RC, which growing up in the South, RC Cola was a big deal, and you could get it for like a quarter.
Yeah.
Or what you need is you have to sip on it. You can't like if you pound it like you can't pound a Miami Cola.
No.
I like to just sip on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like it cold.
It's basically a can of dip spit.
It's way better than that.
No, you can't go wrong with like any flavor of these.
The Rainbow Unicorn to me tastes like Skittles and Starburst mixed together.
I love the Rainbow Unicorn ones.
If you were a fan of Parks and Recreation and Andy's Mouth Surprise,
Oh yeah.
aka Skittle Sandwich.
Probably like the what's that, dreamsicle? Probably
Yeah,
the
the
dreamsicle because you're sucking.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
Well, okay. If you say so. I don't see the correlation.
I mean, saying.
All right, so let's give a little introduction to the folks. So we'll start over there on the left with Rink. Tell the people who you are, buddy.
I'm Andrew Wrinkermeyer. Just a little background about what we're going to talk about, I guess. Former D1 player. Got introduced to this trying to get ready for my pro day. And I was just doing different stuff. Like in the past, I was doing a lot of speed work, things like that, jump training.
More traditional kind of powerlifting,
yeah.
bench, squat, deadlift.
Yeah, not necessarily like really doing like conjugate type stuff and things like that we were doing in here to get ready. And I just kind of fell in love with it after. Football didn't really pan out, and then got into Olympic lifting on the side too. Started seeing how much more explosive I was getting as an athlete, and just fell in love with it. So I've been doing Olympic stuff for about a year now.
Yeah, and watching your progress over the last year, just mobility, squat depth, and like you said, the explosiveness has been impressive.
Well, I think the biggest thing with Rink coming here, going from like doing the traditional like, I hate talking shit about college strength coaches or like people in the private sector.
Lean into that, Mike.
People in the private sector, but it's like it's all like speed work. You got to sprint. You got to do this. You got to do the band sprint. You got to do this. You got to do this. Where in reality, when we trained him for his pro day and everything else, and we sprinted and did lots of technique work, biomechanical work, things like that. But the sprints were no more than say 20 yards at a time, but you got faster and more explosive because you got stronger limbs, body better, rather than doing all these crazy amount of sprints. Like I made a post the other day on Instagram, like don't fall into the speed trap of doing sprints when it's more neurological and power and strength based rather than just sprinting all the time. Like people just kill me with that shit. I think that's one thing that he realized when he got in here was, man, if I just get stronger, more mobile, and learn how to use my body better and run faster. Like I remember when you went to that random combine, like with a week's notice, you ran your best 40 you ran since you blew out both your Achilles.
Yep.
Like, that's just from getting stronger, getting more powerful, and just practicing his biomechanics every day.
Yeah.
Going into it.
And I wasn't really doing any speed training.
Yeah, like we weren't sprinting at all, not doing any agility work, and like
just like
smoked all that
technique.
stuff.
That's about it.
Vertical jump was up, and all that stuff. It's pretty
good
crazy
stuff.
what
No,
happens when
yeah.
you do it the right way,
Yep.
and not just the cool gimmicky shit you see online or on Instagram all the time.
What? The IG models don't know what they're talking about? They're not the industry experts? Are you kidding me?
No,
But they have so many followers, Jake.
I know. I wish that they were they knew what they were talking about. But it is cool to watch, but I don't recommend doing it, any of that stuff you see on Instagram or Facebook, YouTube, or any of the stuff you see the pros doing, because the pros were going to make it either way.
Yeah.
The pros, like, they're genetically superior.
Yeah, tip of the spear, right?
Yeah, like,
It's just, yeah. Like we talked about, they're the 1%. Like they can do whatever they want. They're going to be that good
like,
anyway.
For instance, like before I blew my Achilles out at the Senior Bowl, like, I mean, yeah, I trained hard and I worked hard always where I worked everybody, but my genetics were pretty superior. I mean, in high school I was running like a sub 11 with a high 10 100-meter dash at 240, big weight kid. Like, I was gonna make it as long as I didn't get hurt, which I got hurt. But like, if you're gonna make the NFL or baseball or NBA, like, you're genetically superior, so you can do those goofy things that you can pay your trainers thousands of dollars for. That do they help? Maybe, because you're genetically better, you can just lift up a stone and get stronger.
Well, and at that point too, they're pretty much just fine tuning. Whereas the majority of us, we're on the. If you think about the old radio knobs, they're fine tune knob. We're the coarse tune knob. We're trying to fix a lot of problems. They're just minutely fixing some details.
It's like you're on a spectrum, and it's like people are here, and they're just like, it's like Bitcoin.
Yep. They hard, man. Exactly.
But, and then I guess a little intro to me. I'm Jake Johnson. I started training when I was like 12 because I was a little fat ass and I got picked on a lot and I was tired of it. So I can remember 6th grade I got Pumping Iron DVD for Christmas. So I watched like 5 times Christmas Day, going back and forth from my house to my grandparents' house. And then from there, I had like little concrete weights that nobody probably knows about anymore.
The old school plastic ones?
Yeah, probably doesn't even know about those.
Oh, dude. We had some of
with
those.
the concrete inside with the plastic cover.
Yeah,
They're basically all gray.
I think my grandma.
So I had the concrete weights for a little bit, had those in my room, and then I got a Bowflex the next year for Christmas.
Nice.
And then just from there, it was just, I saw my body changing, and then I can remember Christmas of 6th grade being fat and getting picked on. And in the spring of 6th grade, we did like a field day, track day, and I was just smoking everybody in like 100-meter dashes and stuff. And I was just hooked from there, and I knew, like, well, if I just keep working out, I get bigger and stronger, I'm just going to become a better athlete. So throughout high school, did all that. College, same thing, never stopped training, always was the strongest. Pretty much one of the fastest kids on the team, either was at Virginia Tech or when I was at South. I mean, on the field, I was just as fast as anybody. And then blew my leg out at the Senior Bowl. My Achilles ruptured that, and that kind of derailed the NFL stuff. Never could really come back from that. Then after that, got my master's and kind of found CrossFit because I still wanted to compete in something. I really didn't want to do weightlifting or powerlifting because I was always super strong. I wanted to do something that a 6'2", 240 guy shouldn't be good at.
Yeah.
So I got into CrossFit. And like the first year was pretty tough because like I could do all the gymnastics, I could do all the running, I could do all the lifting, but you throw it all together, and it's just like it was a cluster. But got good at that. Actually went to regionals.
Did you go on a team or did you go individual?
Went as a team. We went as a team, and the Open is the year that we went was the worst regionals ever.
2017, no barbells?
It was the worst. There was no bar. It was all sandbags and dumbbells and kettlebells. It was the worst. And then, like, judging was awful because, so for instance, like, I'm 6'2", I have long arms. So, you're supposed to be inside the box. But you can have your fingertips on the line. Well, my judge is not letting me have my fingertips on the line for handstand push-ups. And where I'm looking at my partner next to me, who's a female, whose whole palm is on the line, and I'm like, I'm not saying anything because my teammate, but I'm just like, dude, like, my shoulders are as wide as the box.
Yeah.
Like, this is not fair.
That handstand, I did CrossFit for a while, and that handstand push-up standard, A, it changes every year, and B, they only take into account that standard size regional athlete that's like 5'7".
Yeah.
Where, I mean, you're 6'2", I'm 6'3", you're what, 6'4", 6'4". I mean, for us to do handstand push-ups, you have to have a wider base.
Yeah, like just to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? So we did that. I mean, regionals. I mean, the Open that year actually really well. Couple years when my first Open I ever did, I got like 6th in the world in the clean and jerk after the first event,
Nice.
Metcon or whatever. Like I did not do good at the Metcon, but the clean and jerk I got like 6th in the world.
Okay.
And then after that, I did pretty good the following year. And then last year, I did really good. But the Open still, just for someone 6'2", 230, 240, it's so much just, not gymnastics, but it's just built for...
Well, normally the Open is volume-based, and then regionals when they had barbells was strength based.
Oh yeah, like regionals. If it was barbell based, like we would have crushed it because we had some bigger. I mean, you had me. I was 6'2", 230. You had Hunter, who's like 6'3", 6'4", 215, 220. And Garrett was pretty strong. And the girls were pretty strong, but like we were more built for athletic strength events. Where the regionals was like you had stupid snail or slow, whatever they called it. And then you have like the handstand push-ups in the open were terrible too. Because I remember the workout, it was like a repeat of say like 2014. It was like 50 calorie bike, 50 wall balls maybe, 50 handstand push-ups, 50 deadlifts, or like 50. No,
It was a row.
50 calorie row.
Yeah.
50 deadlifts.
50 wall balls, 50 handstand push-ups.
So like I literally, however it was, I can remember I knew there was at least 2 things before the handstand push-ups. I got to the handstand push-ups in like 3 minutes. Like I was on track to like be like top 10 in the world, and then stupid ass standing for handstand push-ups for someone tall in the open is just not fair. Yeah. But anyways, besides that, then I got out of CrossFit. The gym was doing really well. I didn't have time to train 2-3 times a day, a couple hours a day. So I got into weightlifting.
Olympic weightlifting.
Yeah, Olympic weightlifting, which I'm doing now. I've been doing it, I guess, almost 3 years now, strictly, maybe 2.5. Because the first year I did like a local meet, and then I went to American Open, and I got bronze at the American Open in the snatch.
So I can see the.
And then the clean and jerk, they said my elbow touched, which it didn't. We have video of it. But that would have got me silver in the clean and jerk and silver in the total in my second meet ever.
Is that the one where Cody lost his mind backstage?
Yeah, they did not like us. And I still don't think they like us because we're not the typical elitist weightlifter. We're like the weightlifters are like, they think they're better than everybody. It's not like strongman or CrossFit or even powerlifting. It's like, I can't even, it's a very weird sport. Like there's some cool people, like I met my coach there, Don, and my teammate Russell. Those are the only cool people there. And like, everybody else was, I hate to say it, was a bunch of douchebags. They were not cool. There's some other cool people we met, but like a lot of them just thought they were better than everybody. It's like, what? No, like, I don't get it. It was very weird.
Yeah.
So anyways, so after that, competed a couple other times. American Open the year after that, I think I probably had COVID. That was right before COVID. I was sick as a dog. Got silver in that, and then last year, you had COVID, so it was in-house. So we had to do it here at the gym.
Yep. I
got silver. It was nationals and that, so I got silver in both behind West kits. So
who's going to the Olympics?
Yeah.
So not a bad person to come in second place to.
And still constantly learning and getting better and just figuring it out, the sport, each and every day, because it's a lot different than like CrossFit or football. Like when training for football, like you're doing it, but you're not really. You're just cleaning. Like you think you just got to rip that shit off the ground as fast as more explosive as you can. With weightlifting, there's a lot more technique that goes into it, and you slowly as you get into it. I'm sure Rink can attest, even Bacon and Rink, because once they start doing the weightlifting, they realize like the movement, it's different from Rink coming from football, Bacon coming from more CrossFit. Like the movements are the same, but they're totally different. They're totally different at the same time.
The more efficient way to do it.
Yeah, and that execution, that comp that I did, last fall or 2 falls ago in 2019. Just having done CrossFit for 7 years before that, like you have to be perfect. You have 3 tries to be perfect on as heavy a weight as possible, and like you just feel that stress. But when you get that first one out of the way, then it's like okay, it's not so bad.
Well, for sure, and like doing just the pull itself is different. Like I was watching the there's the Granite Games going on right now.
Yep.
There's a athlete in town who's at the Granite Games and.
Shout out to Jessica.
Like she made her snatch, but like she's it wasn't a Metcon, but she's lifting it like a Metcon. So like those are 2 totally different movements. Like Metcon, your butt's going to be high, you're going to use a lot of back. Like just pull it up and get it. But when you're maxing out, you want to use your legs. Like it's a totally different. The mechanical, biomechanics are totally different from executing a max lift compared to max reps in a Metcon. Where like when I would do snatches when I would get in the Metcon. I would go from wide grip to medium grip to close grip. Like I would change up during the Metcon so I wouldn't get tired.
Yeah.
As soon as I get tired here, or I'd feel the fatigue, I would change up my grip, or I'd hit off my thigh, or I'd hit off my hip, or my pull would be different because it's just a Metcon, so I'd change it. But when you're maxing out, like that, you have to be so precise with your technique.
Yep.
But it's hard for people to understand that. They don't want to listen to nobody.
Until you get into it, yeah.
Yeah. Until you really get into it and be like, oh, shit, why am I missing all these lifts? Like, I look like I'm good. I just miss it for one tiny little thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, well, like they said, I'm Bacon. So I got into CrossFit back in the tail end of 2012. I was 32 years old before I had ever, done a clean or a jerk or a snatch. I mean, I'd done, typical, high school football, weightlifting. Played on the club football team at South, which led to what you guys eventually played for.
Thank you.
Hey, no. It's a pleasure.
Did you see the picture?
I don't
There's
think I've
a
seen
picture
it
on
yet.
Bacon's Facebook of
Need to see
the
it.
old South jersey.
Yeah, dude.
Clean shaven.
Looking.
I don't think I was I clean shaven?
You didn't have
I mean, I was definitely baby faced.
You're definitely baby faced.
Baby
That's
faced.
what I'd say.
That's
I
why
don't
the
think
beard's always here because I'm so baby faced.
I've never seen you without it, so.
Yeah, I don't like it. So, but yeah, I had done traditional weightlifting stuff. I mean, we had a Solo Flex growing up. You guys remember Solo Flex? 30,
Maybe.
the predecessor to the Bowflex,
Sounds kind of familiar.
the Solo Flex. So it was like a all-in-one home gym, but it used these like super thick bands. So you put it on, and it was, it was kind of like before these bands, but they're smaller, but super thick. And I mean, you could bench, you could squat, you could.
And that was the adjustable weight.
Yeah.
Instead of like having actual metal weights, it was the band tension.
Yeah. And so you got this big stand. It's kind of like a power rack, but it was one like it was kind of like a T, and then it went up, and so everything attached to that. But we had one of those growing up. I mean, my dad had some of the old concrete weights. We had those for a little while too, and then got to high school and regular weightlifting, bench, squat, deadlift, stuff like that. And then as I was growing up, or as an adult, Globo gym type stuff. Every once in a while, in and out when I had time, or would force myself to go. And then both my brothers got into CrossFit and kept telling me to do it. But all I had seen at that point was CrossFit games on TV, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, I'm not in shape enough to do that
That's a
stuff.
lot out of the gate.
But my little brother moved out to Austin, Texas. Was an hour off the plane, and he goes, "Hey, put your gym clothes on." I'm like, "Cool. What are we gonna do?" He goes, "Oh, CrossFit." So my first workout ever at CrossFit was Fran, like the prototypical CrossFit workout. Typical gym goers are gonna ask what your bench is. CrossFitters are gonna ask what your Fran time is. So that was my first one. It completely kicked my butt. I think I did thrusters with like 35 pounds, like a trainer bar with 10s. My legs were wrecked for like 3 days, but I fell in love with it. Learned how learned about the clean, the snatch, and the jerk and stuff in there. Did it for 7 years, became a level 1, eventually got my level 2 as a coach. And then when I came over here, started working out with you, is when I really feel like, we've kind of hit on it, but, like I had learned what those movements are, but I feel like I've learned how to do them correctly in the last, year and a half, 2 years that I've been working out with you. Just the subtle things. And I feel like I had some good coaches, but they were CrossFit coaches versus, somebody that really is dedicated to Olympic lifting. And as a naturally stronger guy, typically in a CrossFit setting, you get like 15, maybe 20 minutes for the strength portion. Well, I mean, if you're warming up, by the time you get to a decent weight, you're out of time. So, I mean, I never felt like I really got a chance to learn and get better and improve. But it was just little things in here, keeping your hand, not, going overhead, like loose grip, and then punching through. That was one of the first things you told me. I was doing like overhead squats, and you were like, dude, no. Relax your hand and then punch through the ceiling.
No, that really helped me out because I was having issues like overhead, and my coach told me to do that, and like it just fixed a lot of things. Like you're just punching out instead of being so tight and tense, like be loose, and then when you drive up, you grab the shit out the bar and punch through, and then all of a sudden, like you're locked out. It's helped a lot of people so far. I mean, I do it most of the time, or if I don't let my fingers loose, I'm having.
Remember, like, share, subscribe, stay.